My bold policy idea, which is to create a renewable energy supergrid across the country, has significant nation-building potential for Canada. First, Canada has made commitments at the Paris Conference in order to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. Under current policy measures, we are unlikely to meet that target. We need to do something else. One way of doing something else would be to expand the use of renewable energy throughout the communities in Canada, and we need to be able to get that energy to where it is needed, and the supergrid would allow that energy to be moved to where it is needed when it is needed. Second, and the main nation-building component, is that traditionally provinces have dealt with electricity as a provincial domain. So when people have been planning the electricity systems and people have been looking at what kind of developments have been made, they've primarily focused on meeting the needs of the province. And where electricity trading has been done is generally been small. Some provinces have traded a lot with the US, but for the most part it's been a very minor role, and politicians and electricity policymakers have always stuck with looking at how do we meet our needs within our own provincial borders. This idea would mean that policymakers and the electricity sector would have to look beyond their borders. They have to look at the entire country and how we can use the resources of the entire country to the benefit of everyone in the country. So how the hydropower in BC and in Manitoba and in Quebec could be used to benefit not just the people in those provinces, but everyone. By working together, Canada can meet its Paris commitments to reduce its emissions, as well as benefiting everyone. Research in the US has shown that the larger the electricity grid would be, especially the larger the supergrid would be, that the lower the prices to consumers. So this would also benefit consumers on a price scale as well. But it would also bring all the policymakers together, all the provinces together to decide how they want to see an energy system of the future. One way to start would be to create regional supergrids between the provinces that have great capacity or great opportunity for exchanging power, such as between BC and Alberta, which could help Alberta get off its coal power, and between Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and of course between Quebec and Ontario, and Quebec and the Maritime provinces to help them reduce their greenhouse gas emissions as well. This would also have the benefit of allowing some of the regional supergrids to also be integrated more into the US grid, perhaps with the US renewable energy supergrid as well, so that we can create a true North American grid, which could also benefit Canadians at the same time. But it would be a very expensive undertaking. But the main idea is we have to think about what we want in the future, what kind of energy system we want in the future, and do we want this as a nation? What kind of nation do we want to create in terms of energy use in the future? This project could be seen as the 21st century equivalent of building the railways in the 19th century or of the Trans-Canada Highway in the 20th century. It could be creating the country that we want in the future using the energy that we want to use in the future.